here we are. Twilight Imperium. It's a tabletop game with space conquest and battles and diplomacy. Now, it sounds great. Now I just need people to play a tabletop with. Those space cats. Forgive me that name, but I just wanted to have my start, and I didn't find a better name. So what the hell? We got an independent colony of humans in the same system? Disgusting. So, let's see. I heard there was a patch which reset a lot of settings, so let's check this out. Colonization suggest, yeah. Okay, so... But these are the same settings that I had today. Okay, wonderful. So, we're going to look at these things a little bit more thoroughly today, but I really don't know how that exactly works, but I will find out. I can't leave everything to the AI forever. Now, where is the jump drive? Here, early warp field experiments. We're not going to do anything else. And I got 24 grand at my disposal. Let's see. Can I crash that research right away? Yes, I can. Crash program, half the duration of that right away. There's no reason not to. Infinity and Discovery. So, I want to read that because regularly I was playing a lot of humans. So, centuries ago, the Zenox Technocracy spanned the stars. Okay. So, in this game, you have this narrative of a evil overlord super alien race bringing down a cataclysm and bombing everybody back to the Stone Age, basically. I think that happened to every species here, the Shakture. They went down and they killed us all. So we got ruins on our home planet. That's the same story as with was for the humans. Oh, sad. But this game is not so much about specific storytelling like Stellaris. So we have constructed our first spaceship. Congratulations, space cats. Now we got not much to explore, I guess. Let's just speed it up. Build base, yes, spaceport, and another exploration ship. And we immediately got a spy. We might not know any other alien species, but at least we already got a spy. Wonderful. Khajiit has wares to sell. Yeah, that would have been a good one too. So actually, are these guys seriously living on Kappa 6? Let me fix that. Can I fix that? No? Damn. Okay. Well, once we have colonized you, we will fix that name. Promise. Okay. Well, actually, we already have communications with those space monkeys. Okay, then it's, of course, absolutely necessary to have spies, I guess. So, let's check out. What can I do with my spy? Spies. Here. Counter intelligence against foreign agents. So, can I do something about that? Okay. So here it looks like I can do this. So let's, here we go. Target empire, mission type. But since we don't know any empires, we can't use that yet. Wonderful. Okay, good start. Always happy to find the proper menu quickly. Nothing sucks hotter than not finding your proper menu first, so... Oh, look at these gorgeous planets. That's one thing I love about this game. I mean, they sure could look, like, better. Textures could be more high resolution and whatnot, but I love it that these planets are all randomly generated. And there's no two same planets in one game. I love that. This is really pleasant for me. And sometimes I really like to just zoom in and check out how my colony looks like. Look at that. So there's only a couple of million people living here, so there's way less lights on that planet. I still want to see how a fully colonized world with maximum population is looking like. I haven't done that yet. Is their planet an ecumenopolis? No, not as far as I know. You mean because of those rings, or? These are randomly placed, if you mean those. Okay, right now we can't do much except for wait until the completion of our research here. There's one thing though. I can't build another exploration ship, but there's really not much more than that. So, my home world. What kind of resources do I have? Kazati? Great. And Tiberius, at least something. Demonicals still are as well. I get it. Well, we are living in the year 2755 after all. So, almost there. Sadly, you can't do much about the exact... you can't control the exact things on your colonies much. This is where the game is pretty abstract, sadly. It's so detailed with everything that happens in space, but on the planetary level, this game is sadly not as granular. I would appreciate it, actually. I love detailed planet setups ever since I was playing Master of Orion, but that's one thing I don't like about this game. But whatever. You can't like everything. Oh, look at that spaceport. It's a different form there. And we have hyperspace jumps discovered. So, let's see. What next? So... usually I like to go directly for the next type of propulsion device. There we go. And can I crash that research right away again? 22,000. No. So it's another 8 years, but I personally find this the most useful technology to begin with, because there's really not much that will get you more ahead early on than the ability to get past your home system as quick as possible. I haven't found anything yet. Please let me know if there is, of course. But we already got this down to 1 meter 3 years, not 8. Nice. So, let's see. How many explorers? 3. Making me not too happy. Also, only 1 construction ship, making me not too happy either. So, let's build... let's see. We have 2 exploration ships in the queue. Good enough. So, I want to build 2 more construction ships. A little bit confused because the forms of everything here look different. I was playing only humans so far, and everything looks now completely foreign to me. I gotta say, that spaceport's looking really cool. I like the spiky forms of these dudes here. So let's check out the other ships as well. Good start so far. I like these cats. Yeah, retrofits are running, and after these are through, we're going to spread over the system here. So, construction ships. Then we got 4 of them. That's gonna be alright. Okay. I dislike my income, though. But we can't really earn much early on due to not being able to go too far away from my home turf. Yes, more exploration ships, I think. I'm a big fan of tons of exploration ships. So. New run? Yes, Sarmatian. I am playing a Terran Terran feudalism run now on YouTube, so I wanted to ditch the whole Terran thing. I didn't like the start I had the other night either, so I felt like going for a clean slate with all the stuff that I have learned, and I chose the Zenox because I suck at this whole espionage thing right now, so I want to learn it with them. So that's the basic idea. We're playing a Technocracy here, so I love going for strong science in games like these, so I hope we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm not going to stray away from this run until it's dead or extremely boring. That's at least the plan. So far, our ships are just being retrofitted. That's a sad necessity. Obviously, we weren't even able to research anything. There we go. Survey incoming. First hyper jump. Slowly starting to get more overview about everything here. Yay. So we found Argon. And oh yeah, nice. So we found also a location for a research thing, but I'm too poor to do so. Yeah, mining station, sure thing. So let's save our creds for that one. This is really important. I personally find the first research station one of the most important things to build early on. So I really am looking forward to this here. Especially interesting that I got a human colony here right from the start. That means with some effort we're going to... What's that? We found a magnetic anomaly. First seismic disturbances. Okay, what a weird event. First, this read like something really bad, but obviously not. Okay. What's going on here? Okay, the AI got this. And we found our first source of Memnar and steel. Hey! Memnars and steel is basically mac and cheese, only in space. Oof, what a sucky spot. What I'm trying to say with that is you just need tremendous amounts of that, and we're not going to stop with one mining station there. But we're only going to build one to start with. We don't need more than one. Bela, hey there. Well, it's been a quite exhausting day, but it's a real great evening so far. Alright, abandoned base discovered. Urgh. Well, it's risky, but on the other hand, restarting right now, I mean, I'm 15 minutes in. Let's do this. Whew, I'm relieved that no killer AI hatched out of this thing or something comparably bad. You never know, you know. Wow, 98% Caslon. That's a lucky pull. That's a really lucky pull. Yes, we're going to take over the spaceport. Absolutely. Another spaceport is a great thing. You can forge new ships there. First, that's always a good thing. And we got another production slot early on. I don't know what spaceports can offer beyond that. Not that deep into the whole thing, but as far as I remember, having another building slot surely won't hurt. So I love it that you can look at these things like that in this game. Really, this is awesome. Everything is so detailed, except for the planets. I hope that there's going to be an update and a DLC, whatever, that will make planetary development a little bit more interesting. Oh, the weapons. So these bubbles here are the... it's just correlating to the colors here. So this stuff is, compared to what I got, extremely high-tech. And it even got modules that I can't build yet. Lots of them. Construction yard we haven't researched yet. Starfighter base, don't get me started. I don't know if we can do anything with those. Yeah, totally worth it to repair that thing. Joe, hey there! Hey there! So happy to see you. So I take it that your internet connection is finally back among the living. Because I keep seeing you more often, that gives me the assumption that you're not handicapped anymore. Ancient crashed ship. Yeah, well, let's do this. Some kind of wreckage. Do we wish to learn about the origins of the ship, or do we want to retrieve schematics? So, since I'm playing a technocratic, xenophobic... No, they are not really xenophobic, but they value their counter-espionage. They are technology crazy. Of course we take the schematics. So, stable work... Great. Well, okay. I think I got a little bit of bonus here. I think this wasn't as far before. Actually, it's not bad. Actually, this is really good. I'm only a little bit ungrateful right now because I had a misunderstanding. So we got this we got the stable warp drives extremely early with this run. Like, extremely early. Multiple beam weapons. Racial exclusive technology. I had no clue that these things exist. Holy moly. Well, it would take me 21 years right now to research these, so I'll have to back off of this a little bit, but as soon as they fix the order to be provided. Okay. Damn, man. Such things, they totally eat up my nerves. I hate working with internet connection problems or telecommunication providers in general. I don't know. I got the feeling as if these companies are all operating straight in hell. And that's where they got their people from. I'm a little bit over-exaggerating, but you guys surely understand what I mean. Okay, so let's go for better tech. I don't need to go for colonization in this run aggressively early on, very simply because we're going to assimilate the humans. Crystal sensors. What the hell is that? Okay. Herb. So, storage systems would get me even further out into the space, but I don't want to. I don't want this either. So, we're going to go for basic space commerce. Well, since this is only kicking in once you have contact to other species. So, we're going to go for planetary exploration. Yes, that's a good one. Advanced survey modules. And we're going to crash research that thing. Right now, I don't have that much use for my money anyways. The most important thing, the research station we have already funded, and mining stations are always funded by the private economy, so this doesn't produce any costs on this ledger. So more construction ship. Yeah, why not? Caught the dog. Hey there, welcome. Oh, I need to check. Sarmatian, I don't have shipboarding yet. I don't want to go for that as of yet, but we're going to get there. I love this technology too. I need more gas. Hey there, Eldering. Yeah, well, when I was moving into the village where we're living here, I had terrible problems with my internet provider too. But that was mostly because the house we were living in was incredibly old, and there were a lot of problems with installing an internet connection there. The house owner was also incredibly old and incredibly not up to, but up to modern times when it came to telecommunications. I think I was stranded there for almost a month until I had a real stable internet connection again. I was slowly going crazy, but on the bright side, we have really beautiful nature around here. We were just a lot outside, and I didn't regret a thing. But it still sucked quite hard, gotta admit. But that was before I started the whole streaming business, so it wasn't that terrible. This game looks cool. It doesn't not only look cool, it is cool. If you like very, very complex simulations, that is. Liberated of the Stars. Okay. Arconish Pirates. Liberated the Stars. Know of your... Okay, that's a different start. You know your facts. But I can't pay, so, well, I did it anyways. Okay, so... Guys, it was a forgery. Damn. Okay. We're living in the Kappa system, so what did I expect? I accept my loss. So, okay, but we're still refusing to buy that computer. So I think there was a mistake here. Somehow this looked buggy to me, as if this event triggered twice. So they offered me protection. Great. Now we're totally broke. Thanks, guys. That was strange. Hyperbolica? Yes, I did have a look on it, and quickly whack. Don't know if I could play that. Huge Stellaris fan. So, well, Stellaris and this game are different. This one here does take a lot of effort in making things a lot more complex and less abstract as Stellaris. So, if you ever felt like Stellaris was making things too simple for your taste, you came to the right spot. That's at least what I can say. I still have to find a way to download mods for Stellaris properly without access to the Steam workshop, because silly old me bought that thing on GOG, and now I'm severed from the Steam workshop. And recently I did some research, and that you can download the mods from the Steam workshop with a downloader, and it sucks. I really hated that PDX don't give better support for their GOG customers for modding. It is as it is. I can't change it. Aculon. Because I somehow find vanilla Stellaris quite boring. Forgive me if I say it like that, but it grows quite boring to me once I'm past the mid-game. The mods that I've seen look quite tasty, but I wasn't able to install them yet, but as soon as I got this, I'm going to come back to the Stellaris as well, because I love the game as well. I really love Stellaris. I considered it a big masterpiece, but I just sucked out the fun out of it without mods, that is. Yeah, the you only use UI mods, okay. Well, the thing is, I played in my teenage years, I don't know how many 100 hours of Master of Orion 1 and 2. And after that, Vanilla Stellaris doesn't provide much beyond my experience there. It has been a great trip, and don't get me wrong, I played like 300 or 500 hours, something in between that. And I totally had a blast with that, but now I'm hungry for more. And I've seen really great mods, but we're gonna get there. Ugh. More pirates, but at least it's Space Cat pirates. Yeah. I'm going to pay the tributes. So, I heard that we can steal tech from space pirates. Steal research information. Yeah, my dude is already on that. So the automated configurations here worked out decently. So I just locked all the other missions except for research steal. And, well, sabotage construction, I'll turn that off too. That's been on the other save file where I was actually playing against another empire at this point. So, more exploration ships. I'm down. No, guys, no maps, thanks. Okay, I've researched better scanners also. Pirate the pirates. So, it's gonna be yeah, Bela. I'm halfway there with the downloading of that. I was just too tired and annoyed to download the Steam Workshop downloader, but I technically got what I had to do there. You wouldn't download a workshop. Well, Stellaris is a great game. I really dislike only one thing, and that's Paradox extensive DLC policy. You know, that just is a little bit much, but on the other hand, they create really cool products most of the time. But that's one thing that really sucks about this this company, and I say that after several years of trust with Paradox. Sometimes they just deliver crap, and they don't even care about it, as it feels like. Some DLCs are just voted into oblivion because they suck. And I strongly dislike it that you basically don't know what you get when they're announcing a new DLC. It could be great, but it could be also terrible. And that's something I don't like. I like consistency, especially if the products are costly like that. But what can I say? I'm just a whiny old demanding gamer. Just my 5 cents about that. Europa Universalis. Oh, I'm so sad that I don't have the money for the DLC. There we are again. I would love to play Europa Universalis 4, but at this rate, I wait until there's going to be a Europa Universalis 5, and then I'm going to hop on the bandwagon. Ugh. You guys, we have... I thought we had something going on. Protection agreement. What are you doing? We have contempt for your civilized complacency. Well spoken, space cat, pirate. Yeah, well, we're going to be disgusted by your ways one day soon too. Don't you worry. Okay, more mining stations. I don't want the Steel and Memnar mining stations convoluting this place right now, because they aren't as important as they look. Okay. So, what the hell's going on here? Well, we got enough range. We just don't have enough exploration ships. That's what's going on there. Okay. Mission completed. We have stolen technology about defense missiles. Lovely. Thanks for that tip, whoever gave it to me. I forgot about it, but it's a great tip. Now, we got a need for more exploration ships. We're hungry. So, let's build a couple of them more. Kiboa spaceport is still under construction? We are that fast? Oh god, I haven't even built my first... Seriously? Under construction, though? Or is it just being expanded? Am I that fast this time? Whatever. New pirates arrive with firepower 600. Yeah, pirates are at the beginning of a game always extremely overpowered compared to your own civilization, so it's never worth it to fight against them early on. But guys, I'm frickin' paying protection money to you. They really need to fix that bug, you know? It's just, or, wait a sec, where is this the... They're angry with us. Why are they angry with us? We are upset by your attacks against our military ships. But this... I don't get it at this point. We were already at a peaceful relationship with them. And then... we have this. This is something that keeps happening, and I wonder how it comes together. I had this as a complaint of other people in the web too. And let's see. Is that yeah, it's these guys, okay. So they offered to protect me, and I paid that money, and now they suddenly fight against me again. And I've had that now several times in different playthroughs. So, let's see. But now we got there. There we go. We got them now. I hope it'll last now. Did cost me enough. Funny thing is, I found a physical copy of Human Feudal. Well, Sarmatian, it is a lost opportunity when you understand enough to rush the tech and get the job done. But I have zero understanding to get that done. I can't use the ship designer yet. So you know, soften your tone a bit. I'm still a bloody noob. So Zenox ship. Let's go for the technological data. Hyperdrive technology. Multiple beam weapons. Hell yeah. And, yeah. Okay, we have gained a little bit of that. And I also ask you kindly to refrain from such type of backseat gaming, which gives me the impression as if I'm dumb. You know, this feels bad if you give me such an... if you use that tone as if I should know that, because I don't. So please refrain from that. I know you don't mean it, you don't mean a harsh way or anything, but please, this feels bad in a way. I'm still learning. This game's freaking overwhelming me, and therefore just assume that I don't know jack about this game, okay? So here we go. At many points I already know myself around, but especially warfare and designing ships, that's entirely new to me. Hey, Lindenlof, welcome! Is this the first time? No. Not at all. But there are so effing many things in this game that I don't have under control.
You're welcome.
So I'm really trying to get a grasp of this. Thanks for the follow. And, I mean, I find it extremely cool to hear all these things, so feel free to give me those tips, Sarmatian. I really don't want to piss you off. Really, I don't, because I know that you want to help me. But I'm also easily easily overwhelmed, especially by criticism, or when I feel criticized. That's the worst part about it. But I think we all got our little ticks and attitudes. So, we got the basic transport systems researched, and the civilian ships are well on the way. Third run and still managed to bankrupt your empire. That happened to me in my last streaming. I colonized a bunch of really terrible worlds and got tutored by my fine audience that I totally dumpstered my my empire by colonizing planets that won't ever be productive. I learned a lot by that. Hey Ash, welcome. Happy to see you. Class is going well. Wonderful. But a bit bored lately. Yeah, well. So, school in a nutshell. Going well, but a bit boring. So, I finally get all those strategical resources. Nice. Mood. Yeah, well. So, we need more exploration ships, I think. So freaking low on money. So let's zoom out and in again to reset the music. For some weird reason, this game turns off the music if you stay too long on one screen. One equality is the breaking point, exactly. Oh, Ash. Well, that sounds like... When I'm feeling like that, I'm usually exhausted, or I'm getting ill. Quite often I had this as a precursor. Everything's not fun anymore. 2 days later, I was flat on my face with fever or something like that. And I've been wondering why the hell I was feeling that bad. Okay, I just noticed that I want to have frigates next. So, system patrol spaceships. Here we go. I'll keep the armor plating and the maneuvering technology in between. Mostly because I'm so broke right now that I don't want to have too many military ships on my ledger. And apart from that, these are just cool technologies to have before you build your first military ships. More research, funding, or depression, or yeah, well, it's actually not funny, but the way you put it is funny. Hey, my dude. Stealing tech from the pirates. Like a boss. So, I don't know if it was you, Sarmatian, or somebody else who said, go steal tech from the pirates, but I love the... I love that tip. I wouldn't have come up with the idea myself that you could steal tech from the pirate faction in this game. Like in all the other 4X games I was playing, the pirates were more like the barbarians in Civilization. You know? Just stomping around, pillaging, not having too much character. Here they are more like a mini empire. Yeah, it sounds like something I have. But, I mean, it's great to learn with this game. And I guess after a couple of extra runs, unknown ancient ruins, no thanks. After a couple of extra runs, I will be able to just avoid that protection money extortion by taking their ships, because the strategy you were mentioning there sounds quite crazy. I recently discovered that the AI is also not really handling troop combat too well. I was winning hard today against Boscaras, because they planned their invasion rather shitty. They came with just a handful of troops on my planet, and I was like, okay, here comes the super deadly space bug army with super strong infantry units. Wait, what? We're winning hard? Because they only came with a troop strength of 200 versus 1,200 on my station planet. I really didn't get what the AI was trying to pull off there, but I was grateful. for that stupidity. Okay, we're lacking carbonite. Fun. So, what's my... Where's my source of carbonite? Are we at this point again? We have completed the repairs to the spaceport. Yay! So, we can download independent colonies, or what's that? Mysterious set of galactic coordinates. Ugh. Both of those suck. I want tech. No, we're going to go for the independent colony. So... But I also want to know where is the carbonite source, and why do we have no mining station there yet? Is it at least already ordered? So we're being attacked by a Gravelex. Okay, that's something you should be used to. Bifurian silk. So. Oops. Alright, good night, Joe. I totally missed that. I'm sorry. AI will produce troops on auto the police. Well, there are a couple of bugs in this game for sure. But I'm not too surprised. I mean, this game has so freaking many shifting tiles at the tiles and pieces in motion at the same time that I'm really surprised that it's going that well. That from the first release version. So where is that location though? Why can't I get a proper readout from that? I mean, what the hell? Ah, here, I can look for carbonite. So I know of one source, but I can't build a mining station there. But I also don't get a vision on where it is. What? What is happening here? Ugh. That's weird. Did you find one of those ship graveyards? Yes, I found a ship graveyard in the run I'm recording on YouTube right now. Actually, it was a pain. Totally destroyed my home system because all of a sudden there was a rogue AI attacking pretty much everything in my home system while the Boscaras were attacking me. It's been quite a hellish ride. So, but where is that? I mean, mining locations. So let's see. What the hell? The game tells me I have a known location, but it doesn't show me where. What? I don't want to build any ships right now until I have that carbonite situation under control. Why do I always have carbonite problems while I'm streaming, and never while I'm playing on my own? It's crazy. No, I don't want any other mining stations until we have a steady income of carbonite. I mean, this must come from somewhere. Let's see. Maybe I can check out the resource flow here, but I highly doubt that I'll have any readout of that, because we literally only could have mining ships that harvest the stuff for me. Chet is embezzling the carbonite while you're not looking. That must be the reason. Okay. So jokes aside, let's use the same trick that I used the last time. Let's go into the game editor and Let's see. Where was that again? So there has to be a source of carbonite in my home system somewhere. How was I able to look for something here? Is there any... I thought this had a search function or anything like that. I mean, probably it's my home planet. That would be another good answer to this, but no. Oh, I hate this. Missing polymer is problematic. Well, the polymer I have already a station on that. I can't even remember that I assigned that. We got polymers, but the weird thing is the game keeps telling me we would have a source of carbonite somewhere, but we actually don't. Here, silicon is here. Ah, it's on the planet with the humans. So okay, well, what to do in that kind of situation? I mean, well, I guess we need a trade thing, but wow, this needs to be fixed. That sucks big time. Jeez. Wow, that's a super crappy bug. Because that means the only way that I can work now is we need to have extremely good trade deals with these guys. Otherwise, we're not able to get that stuff. Jeez, that sucks. That's a really, really crappy thing. Because I know from, I think it was Sarmation who told me that there's always some carbonite source in your home system. Always. But, yeah, obviously it can also be blocked by your filthy, bloody neighbors. Wow. I hope that with trade agreements that we will have a chance to get that stuff. Because we will have a nasty shortage of that for a pretty long time. We already got, like I said, some place where we can build mine silicon from, but I'm really tempted to just, yeah, let's cheat. I don't care. The game's cucking me here for no good reason, and we're just going to add. Can I add a resource here? Add new resource, because that just sucks this way. This is not even supposed to be like that. We're going to just use the same carbonite thing here that this planet has. I'm going to strip away the carbonite from this planet. There we go. Luckily, this game has the editor there to fix problems like these. Because I find that a very unfair thing. Because if I'm not mistaken, not even my mining ships were able to gather that resource from this planet because it is already colonized. So, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I think this is something that should not happen. It's the first time for me that I have a independent colony in my home system too. That also never happened to me. Basic countermeasures, okay. But now we should be okay. But wait a sec. Oh no, the polymers are on this planet too. I'm mistaken that for silicon. Okay, never mind. Okay. I didn't, I have mistaken the whole time the silicon for polymers. Sorry, Sarmation, there. It's been a long day. Okay. Whatever. We're just going to do the same thing here as we did there. That's stupid. That's just stupid. Carbonite is supposed to be 20, though. I don't want to cheat that hard. Here we go. Good. That's a really weird malfunction there, in terms of the placement of things. Ooh, okay. So, hexadorium, what's that used for? High-end components, whatever that means. Okay, so now I'm finally not confused anymore because of this these weird problems. So let's keep going. Hey, Steel, happy to see you. Thanks for your friendly gesture whenever you enter the chat. Appreciate that. Now, more exploration ships. I'm finally not confused anymore. I wanted... oh, whatever. I didn't mean to build escorts, but... alright. Let's go for a crazy bunch of them. 17 sounds pretty great. Okay, so today I learned that an independent colony in your home system is not really a good thing. And we stole more. That's been my first military ship. Shame on me. Okay, there we go for starships. What's next? Let's go for colonization next, I'd say. I want these planets. And I got the opportunity to just assimilate the humans into my empire here, and I find that quite appealing. So, this is what we need, and I think I already got the expanded civilian ships tech already. Yes, so we got colony ships. Great. Okay, that's done. Let's go for some other tasty things. I want to have weapons. There we go. These basic techs should be done in no time. All resources are detected by survey ships. No, there was... well, we can look at the editor, but I think there was no source of carbonite in this entire system to be seen. I mean, my ships were already past that, and I don't know if it was you who told me, but there was supposed to be one carbonite and one polymer deposit in every starting system, which can be uncovered with a starter sensors, and I've already researched the better ones. So this old bug seems to be looming still around, and I think it's just been a fringe case of that independent colony eating this. But I mean, we're going to see about that. I mean, I only have one carbonite, and let's see, polymer sources. So that's Maxis. Let's check out our other polymer sources. Oops, that was the wrong button. P like polymer. So Maxis and Tenkatigoa. Well, these are both planets are not in my home system. So I heard that it's supposed to be in your home system something that you always can achieve. And therefore, I'm pretty sure this has been a weird placement bug there. Is it even worth to keep the big ships you find? I mean, some of them are around 6 feet. Absolutely. It's absolutely worth it. If you can get strong ships like them, dragging them through the time there is totally worth it. By the time that you get into war, single ships that can do so much damage sound to me like something I would definitely want to have. I don't know if anybody disagrees here, because I'm just a noob with attitude. But as far as I'm concerned, I'd say absolutely worth it. Okay, now Norjak Ags. It's all luxuries, but here, Kazlon. More Kazlon, please. There's no such thing as too much Kazlon in the galaxy. Okay, now we can spam that stuff. And fuel tankers. Excellent. Contact an unknown empire. No thanks. We're getting all the technology we need from you guys. I don't need other empires. Especially not for that kind of money. Okay. So, talking about money, I want more frigates, as many as I can afford right now. Frigates aren't exactly super powerful ships, but whatever. There's a Vortikar in the Critania system. Okay. Reason enough to forge myself some nice fleets here. Nah, we're totally draining those pirates from their tech. I love it. 16 resource shortages. Ooh. That sounds nasty. Okay. But it's going to balance out as soon as I have enough freighters and all. Alright. And that treaty didn't even last with those dudes. So I would have been completely lost without that little fix there. This can't be intentional. Because we haven't even found a single carbonite deposit here in the local vicinity. And that would be killing me. I mean, polymers we obviously found more about. But yeah. Happy that I found the problem there. And more stolen research. Okay. It's a crazy effective thing to do. Yay! Basic colonization. More escorts. No thanks. I'm not a big fan of many escort ships there. Personally, would always wait for... If I really would want to go for escort ships, at least I would at least wait for these ship models here. Which got some more impact. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the old models will be retrofitted into the new ones at some point. But that's a region of the game where I still have to learn a lot. So, Isdi Naha. Damn, that's a good planet. Woo! Me wants. Dubot? Well, there's other space cats living. Hell no, you guys don't get any of my money. I'm saving my money to colonize this planet first. Because the humans here, I don't know. They aren't as appealing as a world for my own space cats, you know. But colony ships are freaking costly. Here, 42 grand. That's what I'm saving my money now for. Because, you know, it's also really close to my home system. Stuff's getting better and better there. And the human colony will develop without my help, because there are already people there. Not like this planet here, where nothing will happen at all until I have smacked a colony on top of that planet. Just have to wait for that kind of money. Okay. And after these military tech things are through, let's see, what are we going to pick up after that? So, I think it would be a fun thing to go for better space stations, better mining maybe. It's only 4 years. Man, I'm good at this stuff now. Okay, this costs credits though, so... Well, we're not going to go for these techs which have initiation costs, because, you know... Complete construction of a ship, why not? Or is that something which will again kill my dudes? No, it's not. Good. So good night, Ash. Thanks for your stay, and hope you have a good time, man. So, colony defense bonus. Brintal. This looks like another good planet for the space cats. Brintal, +8. No, not really. Damn. It looked like an icy planet to me. What's the matter? It's a frozen ice planet. Why is the quality that low? We can increase the suitability in the future with technologies and such. No biggie. But for now, it's not really good. No, don't spend my money for things that I don't want. Stop it. Okay. That's a really neat start so far. Such a good planet in my close neighborhood. And integrating the human civilization into my empire isn't the worst thing either. I mean, this way I get access to other worlds that would be not appealing to my species. I mean, is there any real downside in integrating several species into your empire? It's a question I'm asking myself. So halfway aimed towards your direction, Sarmatian. Or anybody else who knows. I mean, we founded this as a Zenox empire, but I mean, I didn't say anything about Zenox. And is there any problem for mixed populations? Questions. I'm pretty sure it is not that easy. So we found more unknown items and more escorts. No, I'm not going to build any escort ships, guys. We've got more important things to do. Wow, military ship strength is only 157. Well, frigate construction is very slow, though. Oh, a new spy has appeared. Milk that technology out of these guys. The only issue is when other species decide to migrate to colonies which have less than 20 per them. Yes, I have realized that problem too. I wondered whether or not you can configure migration and access of different species to certain planet types, though. I've been wondering if that's a thing. Dr. Rubius, no, I have found no downsides of mixed ops. I had an event where I got an ancient slave colony where all races were present. What the hell? All races? Well, that sounds certainly like the devs have some idea that it's a good thing to have all the species at once. Well, that means I have to learn somehow to confine the migration to these planets, otherwise it would suck. Let's see. Probably I can't already do this on my home planet, so let's see. Population, Zenox. If I click there, well, we can't do anything there. Build frigates. Yes, now that I got the colony ship in construction, I don't mind. So let's see, maybe here in this menu here. Population at Kiboa. Well, this is just an informational thing. Here we have one more population thing. Here's the suitability thing. Buff racism. But I can't find the menu point. So we have completed that. Automate population policy. Okay, let's check out if we have some population policies here. Minimum suitability. Colony population species. Population policy controls which alien races are allowed to migrate to your colonies. Note that each individual colony can also toggle control of population policy from automated to manual. Does that mean that I can't have this in general automated, but for single colonies deactivated? Let's see. So... okay, and what can I do now? Where is that population policy that I can influence? Questions. Yeah, some species are just not made for certain planets, exactly. So, we found a abandoned ship. Well, okay. We found a research bonus for ion weapons. Yay! Wonderful. So, stole space construction. Them old rascals. Spy has been dismissed due to poor skills and general incompetence. Why did we hire him in the first place? What a statement. We fired him because he sucked. Great. Love the straightforwardness of this game. Okay, well, probably there's nothing we can control because we have only one species in the Empire. That could be definitely the case. Resettling 21 person to planet where they thrive. Yeah, exactly, Sarmation, exactly. That's, if we can control these populations on certain planets, then I'm sure that there's really no downside for different populations, unless there's something I'm overlooking. But here, location, Kiboa. As a leader, he can't do anything specific. No. Set colony automation. We found more luxury resources. Right? I love my starting spot, gotta say. So there's nothing except these more frigates, yes, please. Okay. Yeah, let's get rid of those space monsters for good. It's been about time. Got a lot of research centers by now. Oh, that's another thing that speaks for extra spaceports. They yield research points. haven't had that in my mind. So, no, I don't want to spend money for escort-type ships. An ancient monitoring station. Well, we'll override this thing. And we found technology here. Well, yeah. I'm sorry for skipping over so many of these events, but I don't have a stomach right now to read all these. Feel free to pause the video if you are interested in these. Usually when I'm playing off camera, I'm reading all that, but I really realized that while I'm streaming and talking that much, I just have problems reading larger texts. It's just like... Yay, a new spy. Let's hope we don't have to fire him again, because he sucks too. Okay, we get better mining equipment now, soon. And we can also... Let's put down some mining stations for these. Good lord. I got so much of these luxury goods that the game doesn't even ask me anymore. And I want to build stations there because we got several income sources of certain luxury goods. And am I looking at this correctly? Okay, they don't offer any money yet, but they surely won't take that long. Another construction ship. Do I want that? I've got 4 of them. Yes. Now that my empire is slowly growing further, I'm also open for 2 extra. Frigate? No. No. They offer me a spy. No. But thanks for asking. So my new colony... Where can I build spaceport? Ah, I can't build a spaceport because I'm lacking resources there. So, well... Nah, not these. Bad. And let's build a lot of escort-type ships, escort frigate-type ships. And after that, I'm going to call it a day with the frigates for now. Next step will be destroyers after that. But let's see. I've got better survey module on research already. Improved colonization. Limited terraforming facility. Quality improvement rate 1% per year. But it can only go 5% higher in total. Stuff. I want the storage systems. And let's go for some of those real basics here. And some basic diplomacy techs. Why not? And we could keep that ship. Okay. So I have high hopes that this planet here will quickly be fully developed. Or not fully developed is a little bit much said, but I'm pretty sure that this place will grow productive quite quick. Because that's a very high habitability there. It's basically almost as good as my home planet. That's quite a big thing to say. So we could go for ice colonization, but wow, this is just very costly. Damn. Why not for crystal sensors there? Too? I love to see how my great ships are drifting up all over this place here. It's looking terrific. So, look at that. We found another really awesome planet. Nice. Okay, so I merely need to build another colonization ship. Now I have constructed a lot of military ships, but I don't regret a thing. Every one of these frigates will be used in the future for hunting space monsters, for example. A supply tanker. And therefore, these are good investments. And right now, I wouldn't want to colonize too quickly. So it's going to be fine. By the time that I can afford another colony ship, it will be just at the right time. But that's so far a really good start. Axis. Don't I have... Okay. Fleet here ain't really that strong. Yeah, we need more ships. We definitely need more ships. That's why I am totally approving my militaristic expansion here for it. So 15 exploration ships. Do I want more? Probably after the colonization. Probably, yeah. So no, thanks. Assign fleet to take down monsters. Yes, please. Neat. So one thing that I notice is that the numbers of population for the species are much lower. The planets from the humans had like 10,000 million maximum population most of the time. And my planets here, 6,700. And the other planet is also 5,700. So, ruins. Oh boy. Oh yeah, the Shrine of Axon. Nice. Sucks that it is a horrible planet to be at, I guess. Yeah, a rocky desert planet. Just what my species doesn't want to have. Fuel cells! Brilliant thing. No presents for humans. No, I need those colony ships. And then the next thing that I would try would be Dubat. So, we found more luxury resources. Space commerce and medical research at the same time? Odd. Looks like I am on a pretty good run so far. So, here's a Vorticar. Oh, massively unpleasant. This is 4,200 fleet power. That's quite scary. The Critania system is quite dangerous. Yikes. The Liberated of the Stars. Let's see. Probably we'll have to fling some money at our local pirates. But actually, they are displeased that they didn't cancel the protection agreement. Okay. At some point, I'm going to turn off this whole agreement, and I'm going to turn the pirates off. But that point ain't yet. So far, I profit from these more than anything else, so we gotta get there. Okay. Neat. These guys are researching damn fast. Okay, these diplomacy projects, they suck. Structured research. Oh, I don't have the initiation costs there. Damn. Boop, boop, boom. Troop transport systems. Pretty appealing too, hmm? Let's go for things like these. I like to go for deeper scanner tech and extra space stations. And space construction sounds pretty spiffy too. Okay. I'm broke as hell though, so I can't do much here. But we're grabbing a couple of really good colonies here. And it's only a matter of time until these will be productive. And a matter of not a too long time. So, let's see. We enjoy our colonies' high quality environment. Yeah. That's what I like to see. I hope that we're going to get the money for the spaceport here soon. So that would be another source of research, which I deeply appreciate. Wow. That's a fast start so far as I can tell at least. Oh, what's my victory conditions? Control the most ruins in the galaxy. Lose the fewest troops in the galaxy. Explore 100% of the galaxy. Jeez. That's quite the... Lose the fewest ships and bases in the galaxy. Okay. They're quite a cocky species, I gotta say. That's quite some weird as hell victory conditions. Stained Wayfarer of Kappa. Yes, yes. Exactly that. Nice. Okay. 3 colonies almost. And a pretty stable beginning. Yes, another frigate, why not? And we've stolen the Starfighter's technology, my god. This is really extremely powerful. Super strong next level trick. Thanks for sharing. And target tracking technology. I really don't need to research too many things there. Crystal sensors. Long-range sensors. Advanced sensors. Self-optimizing extractors. Yeah, well... Let's build destroyers, or no. I want to go for better weapon technologies. So this tech here, yes. We're going to go for the multiple beam weapons technology. And after that, we're going into the destroyer technology. This should give me a nice edge over my enemies. That sounds decent. These laser techs that I have access to with my Zenox, or the Zenox race, they look crazy strong. At least for this part of the game. So, just to give you an impression here, we have 3 different, well, one of a fighter, and let's see. I haven't checked them out there for real. That's one thing I have to admit. So here, 2.7 per second, 5.5 per sec. Let's compare that. Wow, that's a lot more damage. It's a lot more damage. The other stats on these weapons, well, I still have to learn to properly read them, but this is probably a reason why you don't want to mess with these guys early on. But since I don't have access to any other empire so far, we don't need to go much deeper than the laser tech and destroyer tech for now. And after that, I'm going to research more tech. That'll help me to grow faster. But I really like to have some military tech in advance, even though we don't need it at the moment. Who knows when the next space monster or other civilization comes around the corner that wants to eat your empire alive. You never know. So, my dear friends, as much as I'd like to stay, we're going to continue the stream either tomorrow or the day after. I can't tell as of yet. It's been my pleasure, and this is a nice start. I am definitely looking forward already to get back to this, but I'm tired. I need some rest, and I say thanks for watching, you all. If you haven't followed my channel yet, feel free to, and also check out my YouTube channel. There's lots of stuff happening over there as well. Block the links there, and hope to see you guys soon again, and have a good time. Bye bye.